What is up, you guys? Welcome to today's video, which is, if you read the title, yes, a Q&A. I am so excited that you guys are here, so excited to be relaunching my YouTube channel. If you've been following me for a long time, then you know I started my YouTube some years ago and work got in the way, things got in the way, and I just could no longer dedicate the time to make videos. But we're back, so yay! Let's get right into it. I'm going to make another cup of coffee and then we're gonna answer some of these questions. Get cozy, get comfortable. Let's go. Okay, let's get a couple of easy ones out of the way. This one says, how old are you? I'm 30. So there you have it. My birthday is July 5th, so this summer I will be 31. Next question, what is your goal weight? If you follow me on Instagram, then maybe you've been following my cut that I've been doing. I started March 1st, I was at 180. My heaviest was a couple months before that at 185. I'll insert some pictures or clips here. So I started March 1st at 180 and I was cutting for about 6 weeks and I got down to 169, so about 11 pounds, which yay me. I haven't been in the 160s since like 2019 probably. My goal weight right now is 160. I think that that's where my body likes to be. So I'm gonna get down to 160 and then see where I wanna go from there. Possibly 155 to 160, like that range. I don't know, we'll have to see. But my first goal was 170, hit that, crushed it. Next goal is 160. Does doing HIIT, lifting weights, and eating in a deficit help you lose weight and also fat? Good question. The number one rule to remember when losing weight is the only rule that applies is calories in, calories out. You have to be expending more calories than you're consuming. So I can do that in a multitude of ways. I can eat in a calorie deficit, or I can do cardio and burn calories that way. The best way, I would say, is to incorporate both of those. So eat in a deficit and incorporate lifting weights or resistance training and some cardio. As long as you are in a caloric deficit, you will lose weight and you will lose fat. Now, to the question, I personally love doing both. So I'm doing resistance training and I'm doing cardio so that I can maximize my calorie expenditure, but also continue to maintain muscle. If I did no resistance training, right, no lifting weights, and I just did cardio, I would lose muscle. Okay, so I don't want to lose muscle. The goal is to maintain as much muscle as possible while losing fat, which is why you want to do both. You want to incorporate it all. Cardio, weight training, eating in a deficit, and you will for sure hit your fat loss goal. That was a great segue into our next question. To lose fat and maintain muscle, how many days a week do you do cardio and for how long? Remember guys, this is subjective. It's not the same for everyone. It depends on where you are currently, on what your goals are, what you've already been doing, how much you're eating. It depends on a lot of different things. So don't think that what I'm doing is exactly what you should be doing. You want to figure out what is best for you. For me personally, 3 to 4 days a week cardio is optimal. That's how I burn the most calories, but still don't burn myself out. If I was weight training and doing cardio every day, I would be burnt out. I wouldn't be able to recover. I wouldn't want to go to the gym. I would be so tired. There's just no way. But some people can do that. It's not for me. So for me, I like to do cardio 3 to 4 times a week. My sessions are typically 45 minutes to an hour. I've been loving that recently. I pop on a YouTube video or some music and I'm in there. I've really been Next question. What year were you at Jackson State? If you didn't know, I went to Jackson State for undergrad. I came spring of 2010, so that would have been freshman year, second semester, and I graduated in 2013. That's when I was there. If you went to an HBCU or SWAC or, a Southern college, Southern Black college, comment below where you went to undergrad or where you graduated from. All right, this one says, hardest lesson you have ever learned. The hardest lesson I've ever learned is that we are on this earth temporarily. And that lesson came in the form of losing a loved one. So when I lost my mom suddenly, that was a really tough lesson. I had to learn that everything on this earth is temporary. Someone could be here one day and gone the next day, literally. It was sudden, it was unexpected. She is my best friend, and then she was just gone. So that was definitely a tough lesson for me, and one that I still have to cope with and deal with, and I still get sad sometimes. If you've ever lost a loved one, then you understand. So yeah, definitely toughest lesson for sure. So this is a common question. A lot of people always want to know this. How do you stay motivated? I want you guys to change the way you view motivation. Motivation is temporary, it's fleeting, and it's literally never there when you need it, okay? So think about it. We always feel motivated to do shit that we're excited to do or to do things that we want to do. At the beginning of a new health journey or fitness journey, you feel super motivated because it's new, it's exciting, you're pumped. 4 days in, where's that motivation? It's gone. You're tired, you're hungry, you're wondering, why the hell am I doing this? I'm still fat. Motivation is gone, right? You can't count on motivation. You have to learn to be disciplined enough to stay consistent. And once you're consistent enough, the things you're doing become habits, and then they become easier. And you don't need as much effort to do them. You don't need motivation to do them because they're just a part of what you do, a part of who you are. They've become habits. Therefore, so much less effort is required to continue to do them. It's just about pushing yourself to stay consistent. Whatever you can do to keep yourself on that plan, on that regimen. Get yourself a partner to do it with you, or make a promise to yourself that if you complete 1 week, then you get to go do XYZ, Whatever you have to do at the beginning to give yourself that push to stay consistent, that's what you need. Motivation is not it. It's not it. It's not going to be there when you need it. It's temporary, it's fleeting. Don't count on it. How many calories are you on in a deficit? I am on 1,500, technically 1,480, but let's round that to 1,500 for my caloric deficit. My maintained calories, which means the calories that I would need to eat every day to maintain my weight, is 2,300, somewhere in there, 2,350 maybe. So if I ate 2,300 calories every day, that's what I would need to maintain where I am. It's been working for me. I haven't been hungry. I haven't felt like I'm starving every day. So it's been working really well. If I get to a point finally where I'm no longer losing weight, then I can do one of two things. I can either lower my calories or up my cardio, one or the other, right? So stay consistent with a certain calorie amount for a while, couple of weeks. If it's been a couple weeks and you haven't seen anything budge on the scale, your calories are not where they need to be. You need to reassess. See what needs to be changed, see what works for you. My goal is to eventually get to a point where I can eat around 2,000 to 2,200 calories a day and maintain my physique and be happy. How were you able to gain weight in the right places? Genetics or exercise? So when people say gaining weight in the right places, typically they mean you get a bigger booty, thick thighs, and you got a little waist, right? I will say that a lot of how we look, majority of the way that we look is our genetics. My genetics are, I have like a pear shape. So I've always had hips. I've always had a little butt. I've always had thicker thighs. Thicker I hate that word, whatever. Guys, okay? I've always been pretty slim, so that's just my natural genetics. And I'll insert a clip here somewhere of how I looked when I was younger before I was even really weightlifting. That determines what's going to happen once you start weightlifting, right? Or is it going to take you a long time to build muscle? Are you a hard gainer? It just depends on your genes. But yeah, for me, I already had that shape. So once I started in the gym, it just built more on my shape that I already had. Now, that's not to say that you can't grow a butt, right? You can grow a booty in the gym. You can grow thick thighs in the gym by building the muscle. You can have a slim waist and a slim belly by eating healthy, doing your cardio, right? So all of these things are possible. You don't have to have the natural genetics. But for me personally, I just already had that shape to begin with before I started lifting. Ooh, I love this question. What made you start your fitness journey? Quick story time. I always played sports. I played basketball from the time I was like 6 years old, and I was amazing at it. Then I broke my leg. I stopped playing basketball and I started playing volleyball in middle school. It just came so naturally. I was really good. I was on varsity. I was playing comp leagues over the summer. I loved it. My goal was to go to college on a scholarship for volleyball and play on the All-American team. I was like so serious about volleyball, okay? So, senior year of high school, I am getting ready to start making videos for recruiters so that I can get scholarship offers for school. Somebody told the basketball coach that I used to play basketball, and he begged me to play on the team, and I said, fine, I'll play. So I was playing basketball. In a practice, I went to do a movement like this to guard somebody, and my knee blew out to the side like this. So imagine your knee is from straight on, this is your leg, and your knee doing that out to the side. The wrong way. It was so painful. Probably still to this day the most painful thing I've ever experienced. I hit the floor. I was screaming. I just remember crying and screaming and holding my knee, and I couldn't walk. So they called the emergency security person or whatever to take me to the hospital. So they took me to this little podunk doctor's office, okay, in the middle of nowhere, Mississippi. And he does an x-ray and he's like, oh yeah, you just strained a muscle. Start putting weight on it, you'll be fine. Come to find out, I actually tore my ACL, like completely shredded it. Okay, so my ACL is torn, and there goes my opportunity to basically get a scholarship to go to college for volleyball. So that was out the window. So when I went to Jackson State freshman year, I'm like, well, I can't play sports anymore. My knee was like still weird. I had reconstructive surgery on my knee, but it was still not where it should be to be able to play sports. Well, I've been active all my life. I'm like, how am I going to be active? What am I going to do? So I started going to the gym on campus. Didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what to do in the gym. I just started doing random machines. Usually I would do abs because that's all I knew of to do. And that's where it started. So I met my boyfriend at the time, who was also just getting into fitness, and we went to the same college. We just grew into it together. We learned everything together, worked out together, pushed each other, and so that's how I got into fitness. So I feel like the torn ACL was like a blessing in disguise, because maybe I never would have got into strength training. I don't know. But that's how I like to look at it. That's how I got into fitness. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that little story down memory lane. What about you guys? How did you get into fitness? Comment below. How did that happen? Like, what was it? All right, guys, so we are going to wrap it up with that last question. I think that was a good way to wrap up the Q&A. This was super fun. Comment below any other videos that you guys would love to see or any questions that I didn't answer. You can ask them below in the comment section. I will go through and answer any questions that you guys have. Don't be afraid to ask. Bam. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, click the bell button for notifications, and we will catch you guys in the next one.